It's a time for more packages from China. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be stepping into the real arcade at home. And yeah, I've been reviewing all kinds of Neo Geo products, and if you're saying Neo Geo, I'm just going to be honest, it's going to be quite expensive. However, when it comes to finding the cheapest way to actually play, I had the opportunity to get my hands on one of those Neo Geo MVS products, and this thing is not made in China. I've been reviewing all kinds of crazy things, but this time I picked up one of these devices from Dragonfly Amusement. This is a local company, a guy who is specialized in arcade machines, and he has all kinds of cool projects, including this MVS build. But Neo Geo comes in different kind of mainboards. This particular mainboard is the MV1C, and this is a single slot top loader, and you can actually find this mainboard and modifications on AliExpress. And yep, it's going to be so much more cheaper if you're going to be looking into this, but take consideration if you're going to be building yourself, it's going to be a lot of work to get all of the parts and also do a lot of soldering, because these boards are not plug and play, what I understand of. So I want to have one in my studio to check it out what is going on over here. So where this device is a custom made with a 3D printed case, so when it comes to, let's say, connectivity and everything else, it's quite basic when it comes to that. I mean, there is just an old school output out there, and why it's old school? Because it's similar to the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive number 2. Out of my experience, the cable that comes with the console is absolutely great, and you're just going to be plugging it in the back in combination with the power supply that is also included in the kit, and that's it. It's ready to go. And yeah, when it comes to the controllers, it's going to be a different story. I'm going to be explaining you later on what I mean with this. So they're just using a simple barrel jack connection over there. So if you need to find a replacement, that can be found fairly easy. I'm not really afraid that something is going to be breaking, because he did get herself a very good quality power supply. But let's do a quick chit chat about the game system itself and the games you can buy. So MVS isn't just a cheaper way to play original Neo Geo hardware, and I think it's absolutely a great way to play if you don't really care about the collectible value of boxes. I mean, when you're looking at the counterpart, the Neo Geo AS, that was actually a home console from the start. If you have something with, let's say, collecting of original complete games, that is going to be the next level, with the simple reason these things came in a very cool collectible box where you can store your games, and they come even with a manual, the old school days with a manual, but you cannot use them because the AES and the MVS board are completely different from each other. So I know there is an MVS to AES but converter, but I don't know if there is going to be even an AES to MVS, and doesn't even matter because that makes no sense, because the MVS, in my opinion, you buy that system if you just want to play the games of the original Neo Geo. But okay, so we do have a system. How about the controllers? We do have two controller ports of the original Neo Geo system, so we can use different controllers, and there are quite a lot of cool options out there. So let's start off with the three original ones I'm having over here. So we're having at the right the Neo Geo AES controller, left is the CD version, and the middle is just the gamepad. So there are three cool ways to play. However, you can tell that if you're getting a controller with a system, I would just be very happy, because if you need to buy them separately, it's going to be super expensive. For me, the gamepad is such a cool overall option, and later on we're going to be playing a couple of games with a couple of these controllers. But I can tell you, it's absolutely a lot of fun. The favorite gamepad of all time for me. Then we're having the arcade stick for the Neo Geo CD. I find it a quite okay joystick. And for me, this is, let's say, out of three, my least favorite when it comes to that. And of course, the original, let's say the AES arcade stick controller. Unfortunate, we do have a lot of cracked ball tops, and the Neo Geo logo is a little bit washed out, but that's due of the wear. But it's a very cool controller to play with. And we do have like replacements now with the 8-bit-O. That's kind of cool, but yeah, that is a different story. And if it's going to be compatible, and that's something we should check out in a different video. But let's have some old school arcade fun with the Neo Geo. I got a couple of games: King of Fighters 94, Art of Fighting, and Metal Slug. Some of the games I even picked up for around like $20 freaking, so that is not a lot of money and a lot of fun to actually buy these cartridges. But don't get me wrong, some of them can still be very expensive, in the hundreds of freaking dollars to buy one game. We're not going to be doing any teardown, and with the simple reason he completely glued the system, so I cannot like easily like get some screws out and pull it out. But next up, let's boot it up. and do a little bit of a gameplay, it automatically boot up into the game. And of course, due to the cartridges, we have no loading times. Next up, we can press the button over here at the right, and in here we're getting into the service menu. What I think it is even called the service menu, and we can do all kinds of stuff like hardware testing and mess with the dip switches if you want to. But let's get into some games, let's test some controllers and just have some old school fun. So join me. For me, when I'm going to be playing Neo Geo, I'm always going to be booting up a Metal Slug game. I love this game so much. It's so much fun, and for me, it's timeless. With the CD controller, it's such a cool, let's say, experience, because the tiny micro switch analog stick inside of this controller makes this so uncool and unique experience. The first time I've played Art of Fighting, I really needed to get used to the mechanics of the game, but it's a lot of fun. So playing with my least favorite controller, yeah, there is nothing actually wrong with the controller itself because it is super accurate, and I'm always surprised when I'm just going to be playing it after some time how accurate and very responsive the joystick itself is. The King of Fighters 94. So where this is a very cool fighting game, for me it's not going to be one of my favorite ones. My favorite one's actually Breakers and some other ones, but there's going to be something we're going to be checking out later on. But another cool game, and yeah, come on, Neo Geo is all about fighting games. For me, that is why this special system is so great to play and revisit all over again. So let's say you grab yourself a Neo Geo system and a couple of games, but you want to have like something really convenient. The multi-game, the 161-in-1, yeah, they have all kinds of different variations from version 1 to 3, but in the end they still have a couple of bugs and missing a couple of good games. But this is actually a very cool way to play, because this contains a lot of great games and super convenient, so you don't really need to switch between all of the games. The unfortunate part is that where they did tweak the system, I mean in particular the main menu itself, and some minor fixes, and overall they still have a lot of duplicate games or special editions where they automatically unlock, let's say, the end boss. I think that's kind of cool, but still it's kind of unfortunate that they also implemented that Metal Slug 6 homebrew game, by the way, and really cool soundtrack. But you know, they are doing these weird things, and I wish they went for just one massive good list and having one the ultimate multi-game card. But it does contain a lot of classic games and a lot of cool games, and this is just a very cool way to play. And it looks, by the way, kind of cool when it comes to using this in the MVS, the red and the yellow. It's a very cool overall combination.